Hi there, I'm Zach, and today I'm going to give you the best guns for each class in Battlefield 5. Or actually, I'm not going to give you like the meta. I'm going to give you a list that is probably a little bit unique from everyone else, because I will give you the most enjoyable guns and they will be good options as well. But before we start, I just want to mention I have a Twitch stream. Just pop by and say hi. And if you think this video is useful at all, please give a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. The M1 Garand is probably the most known weapon of World War II. It was the standard rifle for US troops, and you see it in most movies about World War II. It was superior to the usual repeated rifles that were common at the time, since it was a semi-automatic rifle, where you can fire up to 8 shots in quick succession. There are mainly 2 reasons that you just need to play M1 Garand in Battlefield 5. Actually 3. The first and most obvious one is the general feeling and the sound of the rifle. The ka-ching when emptying a magazine is superb, and the capabilities of the gun is awesome. The combination of rate of fire, recoil, bullet velocity and damage is unparalleled for the assault class. Sure, there are pure assault rifles like STG-44 or M97 SF, but they are limited by range and feeling. The M1 is pure ecstasy, regardless of using it with hipfire for short range or taking out that sniper far away using only the ion sight. If you go tired, you can spice things up by charging with the bayonet as well. It might also be the only primary weapon in the entire game that you can use without being called bad things. Simply put, everyone recognize your awesome skills. As my approach to the M1 Garand is based on hipfire for short range and aim down sight for long range or medium range. First out we do the quick aim. Usually this is a very valuable option for all rifles. Next out we have quick reload. Not much to say about this one. If you have a small magazine, of course quick reload is very useful. For me it's mostly that I want to stay on the right side because I want the hipfire boost. Enhanced grips is really what I'm really searching for in this one. I want to use the hipfire as much as possible and to be reliable. Finally we go with the bayonet, and that's just, I don't know. Sticking with someone with a knife is fun, but putting that knife on a rifle is just hilarious. If you're aiming to kill infantry, medic is the class to play. You get unlimited healing, which basically makes you invincible, ridiculous amount of smoke, and among the best weapons in the game for short to medium range combat. Most players would still say that Type 2A is the way to go, and congratulations, you not only earned a weapon comparable with shotguns in short range, you also got guaranteed bagging every time you die. To be fair though, Type 2A, ZK and Zombie are probably the best options for medic, tightly followed by the MP28. But what about something a little bit different? Something that keeps you hidden while you laser your opponents all over the map. No, I'm not thinking about no cheats. I'm thinking about the M3 Grease gun. The Greaser is a submachine gun introduced fairly late in World War II by the US Army. In real life it was a further development of MP40 with support for multiple calibers. It doesn't have that extreme fire rate of the Type 2A or the modified ZK, but instead it has nearly no recoil nor spread, and it has a silencer when you reach weapon level 4, so you can actually shoot anyone and they can't even see the indicators for you. When in the mood, you can run circles around your enemies, laser them and keep yourself topped up with health all the way. For the M3 Grease gun we want to stick on the left side for most of it. We start with quick aim because quick aim is usually a good option even if you have a grease gun and stuff like that. Then we go for the left side with enhanced grips and polished action to make sure that our hipfire is really potent. And finally we go with the suppressor just to make sure that the enemy can't see us when we fire at them. So you are playing support. Let's get ready for a world of hurt. Dealing pain is literally what we do when playing support. No matter what weapon you choose, players will hate you for it. If you bring an MMG to the battle, you have to lay down in the mud and suddenly you are a camping son of a or just a loser. If you bring a shotgun, suddenly you are a noob that just runs around with no skill, no brain. Well, playing the M30 drilling is the only shotgun that will score you some points of sportsmanship. At the same time, you can do really cool stuff that no one expects you to do. You see, M30 is the only shotgun that can switch firing mode, basically making it a sniper all by at a very low rate of fire. M30 drilling is a double barrel shotgun that can fire 2 extremely potent shots at a very quick rate. Then you have to reload, which unlike most other shotguns can't be dropped smoothly. This means that you need some part of your brain to function, but once you get the hang of it, you will dominate the battlefield. Now, I mentioned the third barrel before, didn't I? You switch firing mode and suddenly you have a sniper rifle with one shot. Again, it takes time to reload, but if you make that shot count, you're in for some really surprised players. Who's the noob now? Right. So it actually has 3 barrels, hence its name, drilling, which comes from German triple. During World War II, it was mainly used by the Luftwaffe in Africa to hunt and to defend from natural predators. Still, at least in Battlefield 5, it's very useful against humans as well. For the M30 drilling, we go to the left side for the most part. We start off by trigger job to make the fire rate a little bit better, and then we continue with heavy load penetrating shots just to make as much damage as possible. The last one is a little bit what you really want to do. I like to use the third barrel, and then I have to aim down sight. And to keep that a little bit more stable when I move around makes me a little bit harder to hit for snipers and such. In Battlefield 5, DICE tried to change the nature of snipers, making them more useful for the team. Hence, snipers are no longer called snipers, but Recon. To be honest, the Recon ability, that is spotting your enemy, is probably the most overpowered ability in the game. To track your opponents on the minimap is super strong. But don't get fooled into believing that your team will thank you for that. And that smooth spawn beacon placed next to the enemy flag, behind enemy lines? No, not really something that you will get credit for either. After all, you are just a camping dirtbag proning with your little gun. Well, obviously a lot of players beg to differ. Playing as a sniper clicking heads is among the most satisfying things you can do in Battlefield 5. The slow velocity speed of the bullets makes it a little bit harder, together with the bullet drop, but once you get a good feel for it and start to get that nice ka-ching sound, well, it's worth all the stick the team can ever give you. As long as you choose bolt action rifles, the noob meter won't go too far, and there are actually a lot of real nice bolt action sniper rifles in Battlefield 5. The winner isn't that clear either, to me at least. I consider the Krag, the Ross, heck even the Lee, all valid choices. But I think that at the moment I prefer the Kar 98K the most. Carabin 98K was actually the standard repeater rifle for the German army during World War II, with excellent precision up to around about 500 meters or so. But added a scope, it was an excellent material for any real good sniper. In Battlefield 5, it is very, very nice. High bullet velocity, not too bad recoil, manageable bullet drop, okay rate of fire, and very good damage. What else to wish for from a sniper rifle? For the Carbine 98K, we start on the left side, quick aim, which, I mean, if you have a sniper rifle, you should always go for the quick aim if you can choose it. And then we stick on the right side, variable zeroing, which makes, how to say it, variable zeroing adjusts for the distance to the target, so you don't have to manually adjust for the bullet drop. And then after that we go for the low drag rounds, just to make the bullet velocity a little bit higher, and I mean, faster bullets kills people when you're playing sniper, it's simple as that. And finally, you can choose between the bayonet and the bipod. I don't really know, I mean, the bayonet, you shouldn't be in that situation at all, so that's why I go for the bipod. Usually I don't prone or stick around things to put the bipod. I like to move around when I play sniper if I can, because as soon as you go prone as a sniper, you are a silly target for everyone else. You just sitting there as a sitting duck and everyone can just click your head. Anyone seen Dirty Harry? Anyone been thinking, do you feel lucky, punk? Well, do you? This is a sidearm that can kill an elephant, blow a bad guy through the window, or dominate your opponents in Battlefield 5. Don't be fooled by the Mark 6 revolver, it's not nearly as powerful as the Magnum. The downside of the Magnum is the low rate of fire and a limited number of bullets. But this is the original Magnum gun. The Model 27 Magnum. Yeah, well, that's it for today. Now you have seen all weapons for all classes in Battlefield 5, and blah blah blah. Now you've seen the most enjoyable weapons for all classes in Battlefield 5, and you have seen the two best sidearms actually, or most enjoyable sidearms in Battlefield 5. If you want to go for some really funky stuff, try the Liberator.